meteorologist Amber Kulick here, and I'm joined by meteorologist Zach Hatcher. We've been watching Hurricane Ian over the past couple of days, and it's close to landfall this morning, Zach.
Yes, it is. It looks very menacing on our clouds and precip loop, that radar signature. Undeniable for what a terrible storm looks like.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here so everyone at home can see it. This is what we've been watching. Category 4 storm now as it closes in on Florida. This is right around Fort Myers. This is south of Tampa, but Tampa is definitely seeing those heavier bands as the storm makes its way towards shore. Now this morning I was talking about how the storm had intensified, now has sustained winds of 155 miles per hour.
I know, and that is not what you want to see or experience, whether it's for people that you know there, or maybe you're there. Hopefully you're not there, but a lot of people, I think, are not heeding the evacuation orders by the government there, and that is a big mistake, because you see how big the county is that Fort Myers is in, and then you see how big the eye of Ian is. It's easily 5 to 10 miles wide, would you say? Probably.
I was looking at the latest advisory.
We can figure that out
before we started this, and I think the National Hurricane Center said it's about 30 miles wide.
Okay, maybe so. I need to measure it then, so I don't look like an idiot, because I said 5 to 10, but I didn't measure it yet. It's about, yeah, I think. Look at that.
About 30 miles.
With a measuring tool. You said it. But that's what we get for not using measuring tools, I guess. But yeah, this is a menace. It is a brutal storm that's bearing down now on the west central and even most of the central coast of Florida.
Yeah, very powerful storm that is headed towards Florida, but for us here in the Wiregrass, I think I have a couple of slides here that we can look at. First, we'll continue with Ian here. So this is the latest track. Let's see if we can pull this up and see what we're looking at. Hopefully, my tracks are all over the place here, but Category 4 storm as it heads towards Florida over the next little bit here. Pressure's down to 937 millibars.
And it does get lower than that in some circumstances, but that's when you're calling on a Category 5 storm, once it reaches in those lower 930s or 920s. I don't expect it's going to get any more than that, because it is now about to come ashore, but it is basically a Category 5 storm. You just can't officially call it that.
I mean, at sustained winds of 155 miles per hour, Category 5 is 157, so
yeah,
very close to that threshold. So we'll have to see. It'll probably be in the data that comes out after the storm to see if we actually reached that threshold, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did, that's for sure. So I have a little time lapse here of what we're going to look at over the next couple of hours. Now this is for Florida. It's going to continue to move across the entire state before heading back towards the Carolinas as we move into Friday. That's going to dump plenty of rain on them, but us here in the Wiregrass, we stay dry.
Yes, we do. And I guess 3 days ago we were thinking we had a chance of rain, mainly in our eastern counties from this. But now it's going to skip us. And we've been tracking this for 9 days.
Yeah, it has been a while that we've been talking about this storm, so.
And all indications 9 days ago was that it was going to the Gulf, Eastern Gulf.
Yep, we've been talking about this for a while, and I know for a little bit there we were in that cone of uncertainty, but thankfully we are getting away from the worst of this storm. But what we have to deal with are the winds.
Yeah, and they're not terrible. But it does call for maybe keeping an eye on the trash can in the yard.
Yeah, trash can may end up in your neighbor's yard, because these are the wind gusts right now. We're looking at 18 miles per hour here in Dothan. Pretty breezy.
Oh, wait, that's not the gusts. That's just the sustained winds.
That's winds across the area.
Yeah, but there's the gusts are probably around 30 in some spots. So yeah, once you get to 35, that's when a trash can might blow over.
Yeah, and thanks to this, we have low humidity today, very dry across the area. So we have this red flag warning, which if you planned on burning anything and if you watched the morning show this morning, I said just don't. And you probably shouldn't for the next couple of days because low humidity and those winds are going to stick around.
Yeah, and it's getting to that time of year where a bonfire might be nice.
Yeah.
But don't cave into that just yet.
Not today or tomorrow. I know it's going to be a little cooler overnight tonight especially, but it is not the time for that with those gusty winds.
I know. And I cannot remember the last time that almost the whole state was in a red flag warning. I'm wondering if it's ever happened before.
That'd be something to look at because I know the only place in Alabama that is not under a red flag warning is just the northern part.
Yeah, around Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and some of those northeastern counties, I think. But this is very bizarre. And I understand it. You know, we get it. But just the fact that we're dealing with it is just, it's crazy.
It is, yeah. So here's a look at some of the wind gusts as we head through the rest of the day today. And keep in mind, we can see gusts even higher than this, but 29 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Staying breezy overnight tonight and continuing through the day tomorrow as well. So we may not get any rain from Ian, but we're definitely going to be dealing with those wind gusts.
Yeah, and that combined with extremely dry air, because we were talking about this before we even popped on here, it's as dry, or it was at least yesterday, as a desert. Maybe today as well.
It is very dry outside. I know we were talking about this also. It's messing with my allergies. So.
Yeah, maybe mine as well. Maybe people watching are also dealing with that problem. But the dry air, it can irritate some people in some shape or form. So that's probably what's happening if you started to sound a little different like me, or whatever it is you're having to go through. But yeah, dry air, those winds, and the ground's dry.
Very dry. It's been a while since we saw any measurable rainfall.
Yeah, and if somebody were to flick a cigarette butt down,
it wouldn't take long.
It would not.
I'm going to pop us back up on here. So we were talking about landfall of Hurricane Ian, not too far away, right on Florida's doorstep.
We might know people there.
Yeah, if you have any friends or family down in South Florida, make sure to check on them over the next couple of days.
Yeah, because they're going through something that maybe they've never gone through before. Certain parts of that coast maybe have not experienced wind gusts quite like that, because we mentioned the winds are around 155. That's maximum sustained. They're not all around that, but there's some gusts over 175, I would bet.
I would not put it past it at all.
And that would be like being in almost an EF5 tornado. I think that would be EF4.
Mm-hmm. Even outside of the winds, you have the waves that you have to worry about. So very dangerous situation down in Florida.
I know, life-threatening storm surge, and I saw people swimming on an earth cam that I saw on Facebook, and why would you do that? Don't do that.
Why risk your life?
No, don't do that.
But we just wanted to hop on here and give you a little update. Of course, if you want to stay up to date on what's going on with Hurricane Ian, I know Local News Live will cover it around the clock, so you can continue to watch that. But I'm going to go get ready for the noon show, and I know that you have another extra coming up at 2:30. So
yes, 2:30.
People can tune into that. Until then, of course, keep up to date with weather on our Forewarn Weather app.
That's right, and if you get to watch live at lunch, then make sure to do that as well. Have a good one.